Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Emma back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking you through the wardrobe disasters you want to avoid when getting ready for autumn winter. So I myself have made these mistakes and I'm going to show you cringe-worthy pictures and small little tweaks that you can make that will completely transform your look. So let's get ready for the horror stories. So first up, let's talk about boots. When the weather becomes colder, all of a sudden we're reaching for a good boot to put on. However, it can go very, very wrong. When you're wearing dresses, you really need to think about the type of boot you're going to put on. You don't want something that cuts off your leg and makes your legs look shorter, especially if you are not tall yourself. I'm 5'8", and even myself, when I wear a dress with boots that cut off my leg, like ankle boots or even shoes that look like an ankle boot, it doesn't look good. My legs instantly look shorter and it just brings down the whole look. Beautiful dress from Saint Laurent. These boots from Louboutin, we're going back, just don't work with this. They shorten my leg and they do nothing for me. I should have worn black tights, like semi-sheer, with some heels, like stilettos, would have balanced this dress out perfectly. Talking next about over-the-knee boots. These Alaya boots were one of my favorite boots. However, it's really important that when you do decide to wear over-the-knee boots, that you balance out the silhouette. You wear an oversized coat that's long. You can take the coat off when you get to the restaurant or the party, wherever you're going, but walking around in knee-high boots with a crop jacket or anything else, it just doesn't look right. I think it looks a little cheap, to be honest, even if they're a liar. I'll give you an example here. As you can see, I'm wearing this Balmain blazer. It's cropped with over-the-knee boots. I don't like this at all. If I was wearing a long coat, it would balance out the look much better. Throwing over a coat like this when you're wearing knee-high boots, it just really help balance out the proportions. A way to make an over-the-knee boot look even more classy would be to wear black tights under it. Semi-sheer, nice Wolford tights would look really good. I think sometimes with a bare leg and a little bit exposed, in the daytime especially, it can look way too much. When we're talking about knee-high boots, I do not know what was going through my mind when I decided to wear this. I remember London Fashion Week and there was a Burberry show in the park and I wore this and I really don't know what I was thinking. A pair of heels would have looked beautiful with this dress, not a chunky heeled boot in snakeskin. I remember wearing this for the after-party event of the Burberry show. I don't know why I'm wearing a beautiful silk dress with a chunky heel snakeskin boot. It doesn't work. Not in the same color palette, really, and it would have just looked so much better with a heel. It's really important to choose the right boot and don't choose boots that cut off your leg, make you look shorter, that don't fit the look and aren't balanced out with the long silhouette of a draped coat. Ripped jeans. Ripped jeans can be very cool if they're done right. Maison Margiela did very cool wide length jeans with a slit at the side, and other brands have followed. But when it's tight, skinny jeans that are ripped down the front, it never looks good. I myself have made this mistake one too many times. This was a look I wore at the end of New York Fashion Week. I don't know what I was thinking. The jeans here is probably the worst thing. The ripped jean, but the knee and they're tight, doesn't look classy, doesn't look elegant. Always go for jeans without the rip. They just look more put together, classy, elegant, and especially a wide leg jean straight down. We're not doing skinny jeans anymore. The next important point is finding the right jacket or coat for your size. When the weather turns colder, you want to layer up, you want to put some maybe cashmere or some crew neck jumpers underneath your coat. And what you don't want is for the coat to look too tight, too small, because it just makes the whole look more cheap. I made this mistake. This picture has a lot of errors here. I mean, the length of the coat doesn't bother me that much, but I don't love the length of the coat. It doesn't make me look taller, it doesn't really do anything. But the worst thing here is I'm wearing it under a jumper and it's just looking too tight, too short. I want to help this girl out so much. Disaster, disaster. Choosing the right knitwear can be the make or break of an outfit. I love a good knitwear piece, like this one from Magda Butrym, cropped, beautiful, soft, elegant. I myself have experimented with lots of different styles of knitwear and some have gone terribly wrong. I like this outfit because I like the way the coat is oversized, there's good proportions, but why did I decide to belt this knitwear piece with a thin belt? I have no idea. I think what was going through my mind was that, you know, often knitwear can be very bulky, can make me feel bigger than I am. So I thought maybe I'm gonna like cinch in the waist to give me a little bit more of a waist. First of all, don't do that. If you want to make yourself look less frumpy, if you're gonna wear an oversized jumper, wear some slightly tighter jeans or some leggings with some over-the-knee boots or to-the-knee boots, but don't belt it. Never. You could wear like a cropped jumper and have a nice belt and show your waistline, or you can like do a French tuck where you tuck it in at the front of the jeans or the trousers and have it out of the back. This is one of my favorite looks from New York, where I think I really did nail it. A lot of you guys give me great feedback on it, and it was one of your favorites too. I wore these Paul & Joe white trousers that are quite slim fitting, but they're flared. The boot underneath, you know, which really elongated my leg, all in the same color palette. I've got the jumper slightly tucked in, and then I have the long coat over the top. So that is a great example of how to layer and use proportions, elongate your legs in knitwear and outfits that are great for the fall, but don't make you look frumpy. I love to accessorize in the autumn. I love wearing hats, I love scarves, I love the layers, but this is an example of when fashion goes really, really wrong. There's just way too much going on here. I'm wearing a hat, a crop top, the skirt looks like there's several different layers, the bag and the shit. It's a disaster. It really is a disaster. If you're going to accessorize, less is always more. If you're going to wear a hat, keep it really simple with the outfit. I love the bucket hats, they're so in. I know a lot of you hate them. You think they're like fisherman's hats or whatever, but I think a bucket hat, the Dior, Prada, like super cool and trendy, but you need to know how to style it. An experiment like I did. Next up is talking about socks. Never underestimate the power of a sock. What's really in right now is these preppy shoes. I love the ones from Chanel and Prada, super cool. What you don't want to do is wear socks the way I decided to wear socks. I remember it was for a fashion show. There was Lena Permanova there was like all the top models, influencers, bloggers, and I was wearing this Peter Pilotto dress that was very in at the time. And then I somehow decided to do something a little bit experimental with the platforms and then the socks. Something went really wrong there. This sock was not the right sock for the shoe. There's an example here where I wore the Prada socks. Looked really cool, they're sheer. This walking disaster. You don't want to do it. We often gravitate towards midi skirts when it gets a little bit colder, but something you need to be really conscious of is when you're wearing a midi skirt, if it's tight fitting, then you can be a little bit more generous with the proportion on the top. This one, Maison Margiela leather pencil skirt, you can wear an oversized knit on the top and it would look really put together and it would balance the silhouette perfectly. Another example is if you were to wear a midi skirt. This one is from Mag de Butrym, and you wear this tight fitting bodice from Mag de Butrym underneath. That also would balance the silhouette very nicely. What I did wrong here was that I decided to wear a midi skirt with two slits and then a kind of like bulky top that was like semi-sheer. Proportions don't do anything for me. If it's tight fitting on the bottom, then you can be a little bit more generous on the top. But if it's floaty, then I do recommend going for something a little bit tighter, a bit more form-fitting, so that it looks much more balanced. Another point to mention is that when you are wearing something that's a little bit sheer and a little bit more revealing, always wear a jacket or a blazer or something over the top so that it doesn't look too much. I think it can look a little bit cheap if it's just showing too much. You know, it should be a little bit reveal and conceal. As you can see here, it would have looked so much better with a blazer thrown over the top. Instead, it's just a sheer top with a trouser suit bottom. It looks like something's missing in this outfit. So that's it for today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that it was at least entertaining and that you had a good laugh, because those outfits were really shameful. I believe there's been a significant transformation now. I hope you liked this video, so if you did, give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below. Watch my next video because I'm going to be showing you all the things to do when dressing for colder weather. I'm going to show you some amazing new outfits that I have in. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!